Back to VIP Industries, Mr. Dilip Piramal, the chairman at VIP Industries, is on the line with us. Mr. Piramal, hi, morning. The recent aviation figures have been looking pretty strong. So how good a barometer is that to assess your industry's growth?
Oh, that's absolutely the right barometer for us, because for one thing, the aviation figures are very accurate to the last passenger. And that is something which impacts our industry directly. And not only that, the biggest two drivers of our industry are is the travel business and marriages. So aviation is a very good barometer of the travel business. Of course, travel is also predicated on road transport, rail transport, but if aviation is doing well, the other modes of transport should definitely do equally well. Of course, road transport and railways depend a lot on the infrastructure, but this is our peak season. The first quarter is our strongest quarter because the marriages also are quite a lot in this season. So we are looking forward to a very good year.
VIP is a big beneficiary of this formalization theme, which is that the informal sector is becoming formal. 1 year into the GST rollout, almost 1 year into the GST rollout, what has been your experience? Are you getting a sense that the luggage market is now getting very, very formalized?
Yes, I think so. Well, it's not getting very formalized, but because the nature of the business is like that, it's a very small scale industry. I mean, it's very easy to manufacture luggage. There is no technology. The small sector, not even middle, but the small sector can make it very easily, especially soft luggage. Even hard luggage is not difficult to make. So the informal sector is very large, but I feel that we have, after demonetization and GST particularly, I think we have got about 10% additional market share. But I also feel that the informal sector will also grow, because those people who are not customers of luggage, who are not using our products, will now enter. They will be the first time entrants to this market, and they will go in for the informal sector, and that is how any industry evolves. So definitely we have benefited. We find that our sales growth has been much higher since GST, and that is there for all the organized players, all the branded companies. So it's not that we are getting market share from each other. So the obvious inference is that we are getting market share from the informal sector.
Mr. Piramal, Skybags has become one of your leading brands for backpacks, but we understand that the VIP brand has been lagging comparatively. Would you continue with reinventing, and what's the plan in terms of actually bringing to the market new brands that can make an impact?
Well, first of all, there is no question of bringing new brands, because we already have 4 major brands in the luggage market. There is Carlton at the very top, VIP, Skybags, and Aristocrat. In fact, now we are this season we are promoting Aristocrat also quite aggressively. As regards VIP, it was lagging behind a little bit, but the last year, which has just ended, has been quite good, and we are getting good mileage from our trade. In fact, last year has been very good from the trade point of view, because the conventional trade, what we call the MBOs, the multi-brand outlets, and these are also you can call them the high street outlets as compared to the hypermarkets and the organized retail. This sector has also done quite well with us. So VIP is again showing good growth brand, and no doubt that Skybags has become very successful, and particularly in backpacks, where about 3 years ago we were absolutely, we had a very low market share, and now we are very strong leaders. Like the rest of the luggage categories, we are very strong leaders in the backpacks, and that's been mainly on the strength of Skybags.
to some of the other players in the market, Mr. Piramal, while you continue to hold pole position in the organized luggage space, what's the sense and competition that you are getting? And this is not only from a Samsonite, but also from some of the other international brands like a Delsey, etc., that are slowly making their way into the Indian markets.
Well, I'll say our competitive strength has never been better in the last decade. I mean, of course, in the last century, in the 80s and 90s, we were the dominant player because Samsonite had not come in. Samsonite came in only towards the end of the 90s. And so our market share has been very good. And the market is growing, so there is space for newcomers also. And the names you mentioned, they have a small share, quite a small share, I would say.
Assessment of the growth of the luggage market, A, and B, you gained 10% market share. Now, do you think that now for you to gain more market share from these levels would be slightly tough, because you cannot keep on gaining 10%, 12% market share every year?
Yes, I don't think that is not our objective also. Right now we are very happy with our market share, and whatever share we get on the basis of our efforts, on the basis of our products and distribution and our advertising, we are happy with that. It's not a very major objective of ours to increase market share at any cost. So I quite agree with you, and we have a good market share. We'll now look at export markets. We are getting more competitive there also. So we'll try and get better market share from there. And of course, then we have a lot of scope in our handbags brand Caprizi, because the penetration there is very little, and that can give us good growth. Of course, the base is very small compared to luggage.
Bangladesh being set up, to what extent would it help sourcing in China?
Yeah, Bangladesh is good, but it is very difficult to operate in Bangladesh. The environment there is quite severe, and our factory also is not in the major cities of Dhaka or Chittagong. It's in a very small place called Mongla. So the infrastructure there is difficult, but we are gradually increasing our activity there.
Can you give me a broad sense on your CST or army canteen sales? There was a problem a couple of years ago. Have those issues been sorted out completely? Because that issue really had an impact on your profitability about 4 or 5 quarters ago.
Yes, CSD, they keep altering their policies, and it is a bit uncertain. There is a lot of uncertainty there, because they have issued some restrictions and all. I cannot comment too much, because even now there is some amount of uncertainty. But it affects the entire industry. It is not something specific to us. But I think for the last 2 years we are coping with that, and we have got used to it. But it is a very important segment for us, no doubt.
Percentage of your total sales, the army canteen business?
I do not have the exact figures, but it is, I think, somewhere nearly 20%. And I would like to say that now CSD is modernizing and computerizing. Like, they have been on computers, of course, for the last 30 years, but they're becoming much more modern, and they want to adapt the latest policies of inventory management, sales, and I think that should have a good impact in the long run.
Piramal, great speaking with you, and we'll continue to track the monthly passenger traffic growth of the aviation industry and try and guesstimate what your earnings would be like. Good speaking with you as always.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the word coming in from VIP Industries, holding up well, about 0.5% higher. Things are looking good for them, and yes, says that the aviation industry growth perhaps is a telltale sign on how much VIP or other players as well in the industry would be in demand.